ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask for His salat and His salam on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, tonight we continue the reading and explanation from the book Fiqhul Muyassar under the topic Buyū fil Islam. We continue the concept or the system of business transactions in Islam. According to this book, we discussed in our last lesson on some of the businesses that are not allowed in Sharia. And also we talked about the reasons why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not allow such businesses. And as we know that as Muslims, we need to be conscious of those businesses. There are many uncountable forms of businesses that Muslims can involve in. So today, inshallah, we continue from where we stopped in our last discussion on what we call Aqdu al-Murabaha. Aqdu al-Murabaha is one of the common businesses that people involve themselves in. Al-Murabaha بيع السلعة بثمنها المعلوم بين المتعاقدين بربح معلوم بينهما. The author said the meaning of al-murabaha is selling an item with a known price between the buyer and the seller. That is, the seller will sell an item, a commodity, to the buyer with a known price with the intention of making profit. مثالها, they gave example, يقول صاحب السلعة, when the owner of the item will say رأس مالي فيها 100 ريال. This item, the money that I pulled into it is 100 riyal, for instance, like 100,000 naira. Abi'uka iyaha bil miya. I want to sell it to you with 100, the same 100 riyal, waribu 10 riyalat, with a 10 riyals. That will be 110. I bought it 110. Now I bought it 100,000, for instance. Like someone, the seller that want to sell bicycle or keke napep, he gets it at the rate of 1.5 million, and he want to sell it to someone, to another person, at the rate of 2 million naira. So telling him that his capital in that item is 1.5, while the profit for him to make is 500,000. That means he's selling it to the buyer at the rate of 2 million. فالبيع على هذه الصورة صحيح. The scholar said, doing business on this platform is sound, is okay. إذا علم البائع والمشتري مقدار الثمن. So far, both of them know the prices and they agreed on the prices. ومقدار الربح, and the profit that they want to make, or the seller wants to make from it. So there is no any justification in Sharia to say that such a business is not allowed. Most banking institutions, they operate on what we call Buyū al-Murabaha. That is, the banks, they are after making money, making profit, while they attend to the need of their clients. For instance, someone meets a commercial institution like a bank that, okay, I need keke napep, and that bank has keke napep in its custody, which the bank bought at the rate of 1.5 million. So the bank can say that I get it 1.5 million and I will sell it to you 2 million. So they will make the agreement. Then while the buyer will now pay for the item as both of them agreed, whether to pay instantly or to pay later, to pay installments. So there's nothing to say that that kind of business is haram, is not valid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wa ahallallahu al-bay'a. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits business transaction. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah in his Majmul Fatawa said, al-aslu fil buyū al-halal. The basis for all forms of business transactions is permissible. It is permissible to involve in any kind of business. So the business that is not permissible, it is the reference from the Quran or from the Sunnah or from the consensus of the scholar that will say that no, this business is haram, is unlawful. Because that verse is absolute. Wa ahallallahu al-bay'a wa harrama riba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits the profits on buying and selling, on businesses. So someone that will now say that this type of business is unlawful or is not permissible in Sharia, such a person should try to provide evidence. Because the basis for all transactions is permissibility. وَقَلَّ جَلَّ شَأْنُهُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another verse of the Quran, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, all the believers, لَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Don't take your properties among yourselves bil-batil, in an unjust way, in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not approve. Illa, except it comes to you, somebody's property comes to you, or your property goes to another person. Illa an takuna tijaratan, in form of transaction, business, to exchange items, to trade on some items. Illa an takuna tijaratan an taradin, and that business will come with what? With pleasance. Both of you will be pleased with the items that you want to exchange, the price, then the commodity. Both of you will be pleased with it. So this is what we call Buyū al-Murabaha. Buyū al-Murabaha is to meet someone or an institution, or to meet a bank, or to meet an individual that I need something, I don't have money, and I know you have it, sell it to me, I will pay later. Or you meet someone who does not have it, but you know that the person has the means to get it. So after getting it, the person can sell it to you at his own price while adding the profit to it. This has no problem in Sharia. وَالْمُرَابَحَةُ بَيْءٌ تُحَقَّقُ فِيهِ رِضَى الْمُتَعَاقِدَيْنِ. The author said, this business, al-murabaha, is a business. It's a contract between the two of them, that both of them must involve in this business with a ridha. They must be pleased with it. The seller must be pleased with the price, while the buyer also must be pleased with the item. وَالْحَاجَةُ مَاسَّةٌ إِلَى جَوَازِهِ. They said that when you now look at it, aside that there are no references to say that this business is unlawful, rather al-ayatul mutlaqa, al-hadithul mutlaqa, the general references in the Quran from the hadith establish that this business is also lawful. Aside this, the human need calls for that. The human need calls for that. And we can see that, in fact, it is one of the most common businesses that people involve themselves in the Arab world, in non-Arab world, where someone needs a car, maybe for transport or for his own private use. You now meet somebody or a company or an institution, commercial institution, okay, I need this, please get it for me. So they will get it for him. Then after that, the institution will now add his own price to it. Why? They will now make agreement. They will now make a binding agreement because the item is available. لأن بعض الناس لا يحسن الشراء ابتداءً. The reason why Sharia allows this also because some people do not have the ability to get their needs. They don't have the money. They don't have the capacity. فَيَعْتَمِدُ عَلَى غَيْرِهِ فِي الشَّرَاءِ. He will now rely on someone who has the meaning, who has the money to get it. Alaji, can you get me marwa? Get me marwa. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, Alaji is not a marwa seller, but you know that Alaji has the means. Alaji, please can you get me marwa so that I will use it for transport. So there's nothing wrong with that. So whether it's Alaji as an individual or an institution, and we have some institutions that they operate on that. I know some banks do that. They do it. And we have some Islamic commercial centers too that they do that. When you meet them, they don't have it. When you meet them, you tell them your challenge. Then they will get it for you. They will solve the problem for you. But there's a clause which is against the Islamic stipulation. And that clause renders most of these business centers or commercial institutions that operate on Buyū Murabaha to render their own business invalid. In what way? When you meet someone, an individual or institution, that you need keke napep or you need something, an item, it is wrong for that institution or for that individual to make a binding agreement between you, the buyer, and the company or the individual, the seller, while the item is not available. Do you get it now? You meet Alaji. Alaji, I need marwa. Can you get it for me? Get it for me and sell it to me. And sell it for me. I will pay. So it is wrong Islamically for that Alaji to make that any binding agreement, because it has become business, not assistance. If it is assistant, yeah, you lend him the money to get it. That is borrowing. We are coming to that. Al-qardu. So if it is qaridu, it is assistance. But it's not assistance because the alaji or the institution also, they want to make profit after the service. So it has become what? Business. Then if it becomes business, then the principles of al-gunumu must be applied. Al-gunumu means profit. Al-gunumu means loss. So but those who operate on Buyū al-Murabaha, in most of the places, they want to block the channel of getting lost, losing, but they are after profit. So it is not like that in Sharia. So when someone meets you that he wants you to get him an item, then you don't have any chance in Sharia to make any binding agreement. You may make agreement, but not binding. Not binding. Okay, if I get it for you, I will sell it 2 million. Do you agree to that? I agree. Then after that, the person, the alaji or institution, get the marwa. I'm not more interested again. I don't need the marwa again. So the man has opportunity, has chance in Sharia to say, to dissolve the business. I'm no more interested. As the institution also is free also after getting it to say, I'm not selling it to you anymore. Because when you say the binding agreement must not be there, why the item or the commodity is not available, because in Islam we don't sell what we don't have. So making a binding agreement shows that you are selling what you don't have. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wala tabi' ma laysa indak." Don't sell what you don't possess. So the institution or the alaji should go to the market, get it. After getting it, then we now make a binding agreement. So far, the buyer is ready to get it. I get it 1.5. My own profit there is 500,000. So 1.5 plus 500,000, that is 2 million. Are you agree with that? Yes, I'm agree. Both of us, our way. Do we get it now? Why the item will still be with the person? The buyer will go away with the item, but the binding agreement is there. But most institutions, they don't want to lose. That is why they make a binding agreement before they get the item, so that the client will not run away, will not say, "Oh, I don't have any interest again." It will not become liability on the. Yes, if you mean business comes like that in Sharia, that you put your money into it. At the end of the day, no capital, no profit. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She shows the power of Allah on you. And when you put capital, sometimes you earn more than what you put there. So that's what we call the principle or the concept of gunumu and gurumu. Gunumu, be known. Gurumu, be wrong. Profit and loss. So business is either this or that. So most of the institutions, that is how they operate. And if anyone operates the very murabba in this or on this system, then it is wrong. It's totally disallowed in Sharia. So Buyū al-Murabbaha is not operating like that. So if someone meets you that he needs, maybe you can get him a car for his own use or for his own benefit or for transport. Before you get it, don't make any binding agreement, because what you want to make binding agreement is not available. Then after getting it, you now make your own binding agreement. This is the car that you want to get from me. I will sell it at the rate of this amount. Are you agree? I'm agree. Yes. The binding agreement will now come in. Do we get it now? But before you get it, don't make binding agreement. But because that binding agreement will only tie the person down while the item is not available. And at the end of the day, When you make the item available, probably the person may not get interest in it, or the type of the item you provide for him, he may not have interest in it anymore because of one reason or the other. So this is what we call Buyū al-Murabaha, and that is how Sharia has stipulated that it should be run. Al-Mas'alatu al-Tasi'ah, al-Buyū bil-Taqsīd. Another form of transaction is Buyū al-Taqsīd. Buyū al-Taqsīd from qassata yuqassitu taqsīd. A taqsīd is portion by portion in pieces. They call it installments. That is Buyū al-Taqsīd. Business by installments. Installment means part by part. وبيع السلعة إلى أجل محدد. Installment, Buyū al-Taqsīd involves selling an item to the buyer for a fixed period of time. يقسط فيه الثمن أقساطا متعددة, while the seller will break down the payment on that item in pieces. The buyer will pay it according to the agreement. For instance, you come that you want to buy this, no problem, I will sell it to you. But if it's cash and carry, it's 100,000. But if you want to buy it on credit, then I will make it to be on Taqsīd. Do you get it now? If it is not Kidu, cash and carry, pay 100,000 and get it. But if you mean that, okay, you want to pay later, or I can give another offer that you pay 120,000 on this item while you pay for 12 months. Every month is how much that one? 13,000. Abi? 13,000. You pay 10,000 at the end of every month. So paying 10,000 at the end of every month is what you call a Taqsīd. كل قصة له أجل معلوم. You have to agree on the time that the installment will be paid. Not that, okay, don't worry, it's 120,000. So whenever you are ready to pay, you can pay by when. You have to pick it. Even if it's weekly, monthly, yearly, or 2 times in a week, or 2 times in a month. مثاله, they gave an example that أن تكون عند البائع سيارة. If seller want to sell a car, قيمتها نقدا 40,000 ريال. If you have your money now, this cash and carry is 40,000 riyals, for instance. ومؤجلة 60,000 ريال. But if you are paying later, deferred payment, that will be 60,000. So 20,000 increase. فيتفق مع المشتري على أن يسدد المبلغ على 12 قسطا. So the buyer will now agree with the seller to pay for that car on 12 parts, 12 pieces, 12 installments. يدفع في نهاية كل شهر 5,000 ريال. Now the person will be paying 5,000 riyal at the end of every month. We know this type of business is also common in our environment. Yes, majority of the scholars of Islam see that this business has no problem. There's no problem there. That's the opinion of the majority of the jumhur of the scholars, the schools of thought. They see that there's nothing wrong with it. While we have some scholars, the minority, that they believe that this Buyū al-Taqsīd is what is haram, it's unlawful. Why? Because they view it as making or doing one transaction on 2 conditions. And there is one hadith that forbade us to do that. That we must not make two conditions on one transaction. But the moral of the scholars, the majority of the scholars say, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It is still one condition, not two conditions. It is still one condition, not two conditions. That is, he said this phone is 100,000 cash and carry, 150,000 on deferred payment. That is two conditions, Abi. But at the time when the customer, the buyer comes to get it, we have to agree on either cash and carry, which is 100,000, or we agree on deferred payment, which is 150,000. So it is not allowed to say that, okay, Alaji, please send that phone across to me. Let me look at it. I will not know whether to pay now or to pay later. No. Do you get it now? So you must not allow the buyer to get it until both of you agree on one transaction. Somebody will not just come, okay, not take it. Are you paying now? Let me, if I get to I will think of it. Or you are paying later. I don't know, I can't say now. No. You have to agree on one. So when you go, when you take the commodity, the item, you take it away without stipulating whether you are paying now or you are paying later, then it involves two conditions on one transaction. Do you get it now? But if the buyer and the seller agree that I don't have money to pay now, I want to pay later. How much are you selling it? If I pay later, that means 150,000 naira. So there's nothing wrong with that. But we still have some scholars that will say that no, this is unlawful. But the best opinion, Wallahu Alam, or the correct opinion, Wallahu Alam, is that it is lawful. There's nothing wrong with that. That is Buyū Taqsīd. Yes. There's nothing wrong. It is not Buyū al-Ina. It's not Buyū al-Ribawi. It is not Buyū al-Ina that we explained in our last lecture. So there's nothing wrong with that. And that is why the author said, حُكْمُهُ, the ruling of Buyū Taqsīd is al-Jawaz. It is permissible. And Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha قالت, Aisha said, اشترى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يهودي طعاما بالنسيحة أي بالعجل ورهنه درعا له من حديد. Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم bought food from a Jew while he agreed with the seller to pay later. We get it now, to pay later. But Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave him his own the work cloth as collateral, and that cloth is made from iron. والبيع بهذه الطريقة, doing business in this platform or in this system, فيه فائدة لكل من البائع والمشتري. Both the buyer and the seller will derive benefit from it. فإن البائع يزيد في مبيعته. The seller will have the opportunity to increase of what will be his own profit at the end of the day. Yes. ويعدد من أساليبه في تسويق بضاعته, and it will not be counted, and that person will make more opportunities doing this type of business with people in the market, because sometimes you may want to sell and nobody will come to buy because there is no money. But if you had your own system of selling to people, that you can sell on credit, you can sell and the person will pay later, deferred payment, then more people will come. فَيَبِيعُ نَكِدًا وَتَقْسِيطًا. So if one gives that opportunity, whether to buy cash and carry or to buy and pay later, يستفيد في حال التقسيط من زيادة الثمن. The seller will benefit from buying, from selling and pay later by increasing on the profit. Muqabil al-ajal, which will also cover the time that the person has given the buyer. If you want to take it now, it's 100,000. But if you want to pay later, 2 months or 3 months, as we agree, then you pay 150,000. So it's an opportunity for the seller to add 50,000 to it. كما أن المشتري يحصل على السلعة وإن لم تكن عنده قيمتها. So it also it benefits the buyer also, because he does not have the money to get it. You don't have the money to get something, you cannot get it. But so far the seller has given you the opportunity to buy on credit to pay later. So that is a benefit on the part of the buyer. ويسدد ثمنها فيما بعد أقساطا, and also it will give him the opportunity to pay later on installments, and piece by piece. There are many people they involved in that. Some people get houses today, they have their own private cars today through Buyū taxi. Yes. How much is the car? It's 4 million. But I don't have money. You don't have money? Okay, Alaji, I will give you 6 million. Can you give me 5 years? No problem. And they agreed. So maybe every month 250,000 or 300,000. So far they agreed together. Many people are using phone nowadays through Buyū taxi. There are different formats they call it. There is one they call it easy buy. Easy buy. Is it easy? Is it easy to buy now? It's easy to buy. Yes. And it's easy to pay. So Buyū taxi is one of the system of exchanging items in form of business that Sharia approves. Those scholars that say that it is not lawful, their opinion is not correct. Sheikh Al-Bani rahimahullah was one of them. But that opinion, his own opinion, which is the opinion of the minority, is not holding water. But Buyū taxi has conditions. Shurut to say Buyū taxi, so that Buyū taxi will not link someone into riba. Because anytime someone is owing you an amount of money, it has become debt on him. So you have to be very, very careful. Making any additional charges on that is what? Is riba. Is riba. Somebody asked me a question just last week that someone sold a gate to another person, 5,000 naira. But the buyer could not pay for that gate until after 5 or 6 months. When the seller came back, he said, "You promised to pay. You've not paid. See now, last year you've not paid. Okay, I'm no more selling again. And if I want to sell now, I will add more price to it. Do you get it now? I'm no more selling again, or it is no more." Cannot work like that. You don't sell what again? You've already sold it. You've already sold it. So far you sold it. It is no more your property anymore in Sharia. But the person is holding. That is it. So when you have a debt on someone that the person will pay to you, you have to be very, very careful. You don't add anything to it, either kind, in form of kindness, or in form of cash, because it has become what? Daynu. And daynu, if one is not careful, qardu, or riba, interest, riba will come in. Riba will come in. Someone comes to you to borrow from you. How much? To lend money from you, 10,000 naira. Okay, it's 10,000 naira. When are you going to pay? give me till next week. Next week comes, the person cannot afford to pay. The kind of riba that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that even the Quran reviewed on it, is the riba an-nasiya. So after a week of agreement to pay the debt, and the debtor cannot afford to pay, okay, well, I say, okay, let me add more time for you, but instead of you to pay 10,000, you pay 10,100 naira. That is the riba that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbade. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O the believers, taqullah, fear Allah, wa dharu ma baqiya min riba. Refrain from what is left for you to take from of interest of riba. In kuntum mu'minin, if truly you are believers. So we have the conditions for Buyū taxis. Number one, أن تكون السلعة بحوزة البائع وتحت تصرفه عند العقد. The item, the commodity, must be in the possession of the seller. Must be in the possession of the seller, or he does not possess it, but he has authority on it. Like someone owns it, and the owner permits him to sell that item on his behalf. Do you get it now? But something that does not belong to you, and the owner does not give you any permission or license to sell it on his behalf. So that item, you cannot put it on sale. Let alone to talk of doing Buyū taxis on it, defer payment on it. فلا يجوز لهما الاتفاق على ثمنها. So if that thing is not on your custody, in your possession, you don't have any permission to sell it, then you must not put it on sale. وتعديد مواعيد السداد والأقساط. Then you have to agree, both of you have to agree on the price. You have to agree on the price, and you have to agree on the period of payment, period of that instrument. وذلك يشتريها البائع ويسلمها للمشتري. And immediately the buyer also, the seller will submit it. So far both of you have agreed with the price, with the period of installment payment, then you will now deliver. The seller will now deliver the item to the buyer. So it is no more the seller's property. Say, no, okay, let me keep it. So when you pay, I will not give it back. That is not Buyū taxis. You get it now? So you will deliver the item to the buyer. That is number one. Number two, لا يجوز إلزام المشتري عند العقد أو فيما بعد يدفع مبلغ زائد على ما اتفق عليه عند العقد في حال تأخره عن دفع الأقساط لأن ذلك ربا محرمة. That is it. When you agree with an amount of price, which fixed price is 150,000 that you are going to pay installment, then if there is laxity on the part of the buyer to pay on monthly basis or to pay at all, he does not pay on that monthly basis, then it is wrong for the seller to increase the agreed price, or to make any condition that okay, it is 1,000, 10,000 you will be paying, and it's 120,000 at the end of the year. So if you fail to pay 10,000 in a month, then it now become 12,000. So that means you are going to pay 22,000 for the next month. This is haram. It's riba, because you sold an item to him at a fixed price, and that and when both of you have agreed on the price, nothing can change it. So if the buyer wishes to appreciate at the end of everything, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. In fact, during that period of installment payment, it is wrong for you as the seller to be collecting partial gift from the from the buyer. It is wrong for you. Now, Alaji, I say I should give you this dividend, which he has not been giving you before. Don't collect it. Now, Alaji, take this water. It's riba. Someone came to meet Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma that I sold. I sold something to someone, and the person is owing me 10 dinar. But each time the debtor will come back from fishing, he will bring fish for me. He will bring fish for me. So he has brought fish that is worth up to 3 dinars. Abdullah ibn Abbas, what shall I do? Abdullah ibn Abbas said, minus that 3 dinar from that 10 dinar, collect 7 dinar from him, and don't ever collect fish from him again until he pays the debt. Do you get it now? And that is why we have different narration from the scholars that when they go to ask for their ask their debtor, they don't sit on their seat. Yes, they don't allow that person to accommodate them. Alaji, come now. Please help me give Alaji Fanta, Martina. He's not doing it for Allah's sake. He's doing it as what? To add to you to the debt, to your property on him. And what is it? What? It's riba. Riba is not until they put money on your money. No, it is not only that. It can be in form of kindness. It can be in form of a cash money. Or you go to someone to Alaji, I need my money. I will give you Alaji. I'll give you. Let me put more on my AC. You are sweating, Alaji. Don't worry. Don't put on your AC. Where's my money? It's not ready. Let me go. Because by the time you sit down like this, while you are enjoying the AC, and that opportunity only comes for you through what? Through the debt. Then number 3, يُرَمُ عَلَى الْمُشْتَرِي الْمَلِي الْمُمَاطَلَةِ فِي سِدَادِ مَحَلَّ مِنَ الْأَقْسَاطِ. It is forbidden on the buyer to delay the payment. It is forbidden in Sharia to delay the payment. Yes, you agree on 10,000 on monthly basis for 12 months to cover 120,000 naira of the price of the item. So it is not wrong for you when a month comes, you have to struggle to pay. But if Allah controls affairs, you make all struggle, but at the end of the day, you don't have any means to pay. We don't call such a person al-mali. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Maqdu al-ghani dhulmun." It is the injustice when you have the ability to pay debt on you and you don't pay. It's dhulmun. It's injustice. It's abosito to be. But someone who does not have, to hate is not easy for him, and he's still owing someone. Then Allah wants you, the owner of the property, to give him more period, or even you turn it to what? Sadaqah for him. So these are the 3 conditions covering Buyū at Taxid. Is it time? Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Now, if there are questions. The next topic is on riba, so I want to be a fresh topic. Okay.
Now, it's based on this new crisis that we found ourselves that some people engage in. One, I have two questions. The first one is about this POS of a thing. That people exchange money with a huge amount of money. Now, somebody even told me that they collected because they want to withdraw 30,000 naira, they have to charge him 6,000 naira additional. So they need to deduct 36,000 from his account before they can pay. We can give him the 30,000 naira. So my question is, what is the perspective on that kind of business? That's one. Then second one is the other thing you are talking about concerning this installment payments. That since it is easy buy, those people that are involved, I mean, I'm talking about the company that you want to buy the phone from, for instance, the phone. They believe that it is not their own belief based on what they want to give it to you. Is that it is how do I put it, interest. In fact, if you meet them that you want to buy a phone and it's going to be easy and it's easy buy you want to buy, they will tell you immediately that your interest is so percentage. They have their fixed percentage they are putting on every item you want to buy from them. Maybe I don't know how they do, but I shall know that there is a particular fixed percentage. Maybe you buy phone for 40,000, certain percentage that the interest is going to add on it, for the amount they are actually selling the phone. So my question is that kind of things can one still engage in that?
Now, alhamdulillah, salatu wa salam ala rasulullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be with every one of us. It is unlawful, it is haram to do business with money of the same currencies while one is higher than the other. It is haram. 10,000 naira should be used to exchange 10,000 naira, whether one is rough, one is dirty, one is old, one is young. So it is haram to say that the new note is 8,000, the old note it is 10,000. No, that one is haram. So you're selling money, you can sell money, you can buy money, but if it's of the same currency, it must be of the same amount, then instant exchange. What people do nowadays, presently in Nigeria, it is wrong. I'm not talking of POS now. I'm talking of just direct exchanging. Whether you go to the PS operator and okay, what do you want? You want to change your old naira to new naira? Okay, bring 10,000 of old notes and get 8,000 naira of new notes. It's haram, it's riba. That's what we call riba al-fadlu. We are coming to that inshallah. But if you want to withdraw from your account the new note or the old note, and you go to POS operator and he wants to charge you, so that will now take us back to what is our own position before this condition, before the present condition of Nigeria now. Do you see POS operator as lawful or as unlawful? My own opinion on POS operator is that there are 3 or 2 forms of businesses, transactions that the POS operators operate with. One is lawful, one is not lawful. The one that is lawful is transfer. You take your money to them and they help you to transfer to any amount. And they can charge you, in fact, they can charge you bigger than what you transfer. You give them 10,000, okay, our charges is 20,000. Yes. You can send me to your bank now to save. You can give me the money, your own money to deposit for you. I will charge you any amount. That is service charge. And is what is commission. That's my own commission. But this case that, okay, I want to withdraw. The POS operator already kept money with him, his own money with him for operation. And you want to withdraw. It has become exchanging. You want to exchange money for money. That is sorrowful. Or you want to borrow. If he is going to give you the money before withdrawing the amount that he has given you from your own account. That is, so whichever be the way, there is no room for POS operator to charge you to make any profit from that business, because if it is sorrowful exchanging or borrowing, no, the amount must be the same. There is no room for any extra charge. But if it is service charge that is the same and minimal, Sharia allows that. But in the case of what we are witnessing in Nigeria now, when you go to meet the POS operator, they don't even use machine anymore. The money is with them. They will tell you, take this, bring the new note, get the bring the old note and get the new note. While the amount is varied. This is haram. This is unlawful. It's time for salat. You still have small time. It's time. Maybe after, inshallah. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد